Stop chasing her and do this instead. Stop always being the one to reach out first. Silence builds curiosity. Don't drop everything for her when she's free. Your schedule has value. Have a life outside her. Pursue hobbies and passions and even friendships that don't necessarily include her. Make attention earned. Don't hand over what should be worked for. Walk away when effort isn't matched. Self-worth is always sexier than persistence. The harder you chase, the faster she runs. So stop chasing, and she might just chase you. Comment stop, and I'll send you my full guide on making women chase you.
4 ways to shoot your shot. Number 1, be direct. Like, hey, would you want to grab a drink sometime? Number 2, have 0 expectations for what they're going to say, because they could easily reject you, and that's something that you have to accept if you're shooting your shot. Number 3, realize that they could reject you, and if they do, that's okay, because now you know how they feel about you and you don't have to play a little game. And number 4, don't get discouraged. If it doesn't work with that one person, you can keep trying with a different person, not the same person. And just know that, you know, when you shoot your shot, it's possible that you're gonna get rejected, but there is probably that one time where, or maybe 2, or maybe 3, where you don't.
And here's what happens when the men check out. I get to go home. My house is quiet. I don't want no drama, no foolishness, no texting, no nonsense going on. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. I can just go home. I could just go home. I could be out there dating, but why would I do that? And all of these modern women don't have a good head on their shoulders. Why would I be out there? For what?
Advice to every black dude would be this. If you're 38, get your handle right now. If you're 36, get it handled right now. Because the older you are, the harder it will be to find a partner. For example, you would think of me, right? I'm Mr. Worldwide, International, dated Playboy models. I've been around the globe like 27 times. I've made millions of dollars in courses and sales and programs. You think I should be able to find like this any black chick? Actually, it's super hard. It's the hardest to date within my race. Why is that? Because they're not used to stability. you see, I don't even know, man. That kind of attitude. Stubborn, unfortunately, not willing to play second fiddle, not willing to compromise. So unfortunately, I have to date outside of my race, or unfortunately, I don't really care, but to find the best fit. The older you get, the more you'll have to do that.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
If a man starts to ignore you, this is exactly how I want you to respond. You're not going to post something out of the normal on your story. You're not going to go react to their story or like their post and try and get their attention because they forgot about you or something. They didn't forget about you. You're not going to send them another text message. They saw the first one. So what do? Well, you're going to take a deep breath in, and then you're going to exhale all the you don't give. See, that's all you do. Other than that, you do nothing. Nada. Zip. Okay? That's it. You don't need to go looking for answers from them. You don't need to go looking for closure from them. Their silence was the closure. So keep that dignity intact. Come on, twin. Lock in. If they don't have the decency to even respond or at least be honest how they really feel, then they don't deserve more energy and more effort. Save it for someone who does. A real man who is actually interested in you is not going to leave you hanging like that. He's not going to just disappear.
And another thing is that a lot of modern women don't like to take accountability. And a man can't live with you if that's the way that you think. There's nothing that I can do about that. There's nothing that I want to do about that. I can be at home, chilling, taking it easy. Why would I want to sit there and be bothered with you? Why would I want to sit there and have stupidity hanging around me? That's something that we got to figure out. That's the thing that we have to look for. Why would I want to be bothered with somebody that don't know how to act? And when they don't know how to act, they're looking at me like I didn't do something wrong, instead of taking accountability.
Why are Japanese men so unpopular globally? If you walk around any major city in the world, you'll easily find international couples with a Japanese woman and a foreign partner, but almost never the opposite. So I asked, what makes a man popular in 2026 on ChatGPT? And I got these: emotional intelligence and transparency, kindness and empathy, confidence without arrogance. I'm gonna have to be honest with you, Japanese men are like the polar opposite. Under our historical samurai bureaucracy, extreme self-control, silence, and never showing vulnerability were like the absolute ultimate signs of honor. That traditional spirit is still whispering in our ears today, telling us that real men are meant to be silent because actions speak louder than words. But here's the problem though. We are no longer physically risking our lives in battle for our families. We are totally unable to express our emotions, all whilst we're providing our homes $35,000 per year. Yeah. Silent stoicism might have been elegant under a shogun dynasty, but now we're stuck in this age transition dilemma kind of, leaving an entire generation of men financially exhausted and completely misunderstood. There's simply no demand for an average Japanese man in the global market, and perhaps even misfits in the current society. Perhaps it's time for us to put our swords away and adapt with the trends to truly connect with the rest of the world. Or is it? Will the era of the silent man ever return? Let me know in the comments section what you think, or if you have any past experiences with a Japanese man. I'd be curious to know. Follow for more cultural content on Japan. Thank you for watching.
You know, it seems like modern women like to use a lot of buzzwords to justify being a gold digger, being a streetwalker, basically, right? You want a man to obviously make a certain amount of money. That's okay. But when you start to say, if he don't pay my bills, then I'm not giving out this cat. If he don't take me on these types of trips, then I'm not giving out this cat. If he don't, and they try to, well, you know, a woman wants to be financially stable and do all of these other things. I get it. I'm right there with you. But we gotta, at some point in time, start calling an ace and a spade a spade. These modern women out here are being irresponsible with their lives.
I think for a woman approaching a man, all she needs to do is strike up a conversation. She doesn't necessarily need to put herself out there like, hey, I'm digging you, whatever. Just strike up a conversation, and 9 times out of 10, the guy, that's going to make the gentleman feel comfortable, and then he'll take it from there. But in my mind, she approached him.
Right.
You know, she created the initial conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that's not to say a woman can't step to a guy and like, hey, I think you're attractive. You know, I'd love to get to know you, whatever. That's fine. But I don't think a woman necessarily needs to do that. Just go up, approach the gentleman, start a conversation. That lets the gentleman know, like, hey, I'm available. I'm also approachable.
Melanie P. Talk to him.
Scary with Melanie P. That's scary with Melanie P. Come on. Here we go.
I've got the magic in me every time.
To me, this is just a weird brag because most moms, good moms, want to talk about breaking generational trauma, not reinforcing it.
I made Go ahead and leave that good man for a maybe. Go ahead and leave that good man because he blowing smoke up your. Go ahead and do that. You gonna regret it. You never leave a good man because of a maybe. Because someone wants to feed you with better opportunities or whatever it might be. You don't do that. There are a lot of malicious men out here. So when you come across a good man that is literally treating you divine, you don't let go of that. You don't cross that, no nothing. You stick by his side, you stick in his corner, and you two figure it out together. If there's something that you want to succeed in life, talk to him about that. If he's a good man, he's going to do everything in his power to make it happen. Go ahead and mess with the man that... Go ahead and leave that good man for a maybe.
And a lot of these modern women, they'll sit up here and watch a man do the things that he's supposed to be doing, act like he's supposed to be acting, and take it for granted. Fumble him, straight up. Just fumbled. They try to make it seem like he's the problem. He's the one doing things that he, he did this, or he was this, and this. No, you're the problem. You have the issue, and it's time for you to start taking accountability for you fumbling a good man. Plain and simple, man. I did this. I talked to him this way. I was acting silly, had a bad attitude. I wouldn't dress appropriately. I was posting pictures I probably shouldn't have posted. And he got tired of it. He told me this multiple times. He reasoned with me. He sat down and explained things to me. And yet and still continue to do what I wanted to do. And so he left. We couldn't come to agreement, which really means I couldn't stop doing.
You can be grateful you got flowers, but also letting him know what you actually like so he can get it a little bit closer. To be fair, a lot of women expect roses. A lot of women, their favorite is roses, and that's fine. I don't know what your favorite is, you just specify, but I think sitting him down and having a heart-to-heart conversation, letting him know that you absolutely love flowers, it means the world to you, but saying my favorite is actually... And for some men, they don't know the names of individual flowers. So, if you could even show him a photo, because, there's some ladies who might like flowers that are a little bit less common, that only bloom certain times of the year, like daffodils. That's kind of a weird one. That's actually my favorite. But again, you can be both. You can be grateful he got you flowers, but also let him know what your actual favorite is.
Do you know what kind of woman scares men the most today? Not the rich one, not the pretty one, not the loud one. It is the woman who was broken, who faced everything alone and rebuilt herself without needing anyone at all. She has felt silence, felt loneliness, felt pain deeply, and still found a way to stand on her own again. She learned to survive, learned to grow, learned to live without depending on anyone for her happiness.
When a woman becomes comfortable alone, she becomes hard to control and impossible to manipulate. She does not accept crumbs, does not accept backups, does not accept half-hearted love anymore. She has cried alone, struggled alone, healed alone. So she is no longer afraid of losing anyone now. She knows her worth, knows her value, knows exactly what she brings into any situation in life.
She stops chasing, stops settling, stops explaining herself because she no longer needs validation.
Because once a woman proves to herself that she can survive her absolute darkest moments alone, the threat of your absence completely loses its power.
And you're seeing a lot of these modern women, they want to go get the bag. So they, move to a different city, level up. You got your, you live in an expensive city. I want to go to NYC, Chicago. And they do level up. They're getting the bag. But what happens a lot of times with these modern women is they become more transactional. They lose a lot of their femininity. Now, is it possible for a woman to work and be feminine? Absolutely. Right? You have a lot of women out here that are working in high-powered corporate jobs, and they still maintain being a woman. That doesn't mean that you're not firm. That doesn't mean that you take BS, whether it's from a man or a woman. But that, I know how to handle business, but then I also know how to be feminine. I also know how to be a woman, right? I also know how to be a leader. Too many times, modern women are happy, they're comfortable trying to fit into a masculine frame when they really should say, how can I still be who I am, but take on this leadership role, be an entrepreneur without changing and acting like I'm a dude?
I was talking with Laleen French, and she said something that was wild. She said a lot of the strong, independent women you see don't desire to be that way. Now, many men will say, you might say that, but even if you met a man who was a leader, who displayed leadership characteristics, why do women still try holding on to that strong, independent mindset? She said, it's sometimes difficult to relinquish the control that's built and cultivated the structured, successful life that I have to a man without the guarantee that he'll handle it correctly. It was a beautiful, vulnerable breakdown of why it's sometimes hard for women who've sacrificed, built, and worked for what they have to not only restructure their mind to let someone else lead, but to also at the same time hand a certain level of control to someone else. I think for men who find themselves with strong, independent women, it's healthy to allow her time to slowly relinquish that to you, and also show her you're a man that's responsible and mature enough to not let that process be an indictment on your manhood.
You know, it's funny because a lot of these modern women, they'll come to a first date with a list of things, literal lists of things that they're expecting from a guy. I want you, I want you, I want your therapist. I want the exact number. I want the exact number of therapy sessions that you've gone to within the last 3 weeks. How long were they? What object lessons did you learn from that? Which the object lessons I really don't have a problem with, but they want to grill you on the questions that they want to know. But all it takes from you is one question, 2 questions, one question actually. Let me jump it back down to one question. What do you bring to the table? And then the date is over. They didn't ask you about your family history. And then one question is like, oh yeah, you're pretty thorough. Now, let me go ahead and ask you. What do you bring to the table? Oh man,
So I just had lunch with a friend and he asked me, is there a word for gentleman in German? Like, how would you translate that? And I was trying to think about it and I'm like, I don't know actually. Let me look this up in my dictionary. And when I looked it up, it only gave as gentleman. And I'm like, now wait a second. Is just like to say Mr. or Sir. But a gentleman is not just a regular dude. It's like a guy that's extra polite and courteous and goes out of his way for you. And then my friend was like, yeah, maybe that doesn't exist in Germany. But anyway, I'm like, I think there must be some word, right? So I look a little bit closer at the definition and it said ein echter Kavalier. So then I said, okay, maybe that makes sense, like a true cavalier. And then my friend goes, but the definition of cavalier is like arrogant, is it not? I mean, if you think of cavalier as a noun, it does mean gentleman, I guess. But yeah, as an adjective, it can mean that someone is arrogant. So now I'm even more confused. Like, is there a word for German gentleman, or does it not exist, and do they just not exist here in general?
I told my situationship to either choose me or leave me alone, and he's replied, this is a 10-year situationship, put me in jail. I know, but I'm gonna read what he said. I'm actually so scared. Okay. No. Yeah, I agree and understand you mean a lot to me too and want to have you in my life, but I don't want to just lead you on to nothing. It's awesome talking and hanging out with you, but it does seem like a lot and I'm not in a place to be in a relationship, but friendship and talking and hanging out if you want would be awesome.
When men really, really, really get into a woman, they all of a sudden, like, you see these stories where like a guy will have like a situationship with someone for, I've never heard 10 years is a bit much, but like he'll do that for like 5 years and then he'll meet someone and be married in like 2 months, right? Because he when guys know, they know.
You know, the fact that some of these singles events and these mixers and stuff like that, now I've seen some mixers out there that are pretty, they look pretty good. You know, that's something I might go to if I were single, right? But then you have a lot of them where men don't come at all. And women are like, where are all the good men at? How come men aren't showing up to this type of stuff? Well, it's not really beneficial. A lot of this stuff to a man isn't really, there's nothing, I ain't going to take anything home from it. Well, you might get a number, you might, and what might means is it's similar to playing the lottery. Well, you might win, so keep on playing. I'm gonna keep on playing the lottery, and I might never win, but I've spent a lot of money. I've accumulated a lot of tickets, a lot of lottery tickets, and when I've counted up the cost, man, I spent a lot of money on something that I never even had a chance to win. Well, you know, do you have a shot? Probably I have a shot. a chance to win in general, but do I have an actual chance versus a 1 in infinity chance? Probably not. Probably not. And that's how a lot of men feel about dating. They don't really have a shot with a lot of these modern women. With the way that they act, with the way that they treat me, and really honestly and truly on that subject, with the way that they treat me, do I want to?
I just saw this post of this girl saying that women that approach men first are crazy. And then the comments are full of women saying, yeah, when I was at my lowest point in my life and when I was going through a crazy point in my life and that's what I used to do. I would approach men first because I just didn't care. And I feel like, is this true? Because I kind of think that it is true. Because when I think back to the times where I personally approached men first, I was going through a moment. I was going through some kind of like weird, I was in crazy girl mode. So she was saying that men keep saying now that they want to be approached first. Maybe this is the problem, because I know a lot of men that I come across nowadays, they want to be chased and they want to be approached first. But are you getting a sane person? Are you getting a sane woman when you want to be approached? Probably not, because when I really deeped and thought about it, I was like, no, she's right. When we're at crazy lowest points, we were like, forget it, I'm gonna go up to this guy and you're drunk and you're feeling crazy. And that's how you might be getting crazy with men, fellas, just saying.
Okay. It's a man with high emotional intelligence. Right. Okay. Now, when I talk about emotional intelligence, I'm going to break this down into 5 parts.
Okay, let me hear them.
Right. The very first thing is going to be self-awareness. This is this man's ability to be aware of his actions, his feelings, his emotions, and what's going on in him. Right. That's going to be the biggest thing. The next part is self-regulation. So when he notices things that are going on in him, if he's angry, if he's upset, if he's super excited and he's, or overwhelmed, he knows how to regulate himself and self-soothe himself. Right. The third part is going to be empathy. Right now, empathy is your ability to put yourself in your partner's shoes and see things from their perspective. Yeah. If a man can't do that, then he cannot be an effective leader. Right. The fourth part is motivation. Now we have 2 parts of motivation. We have internal motivation, which is I'm doing this because I want to reach a certain goal, or I'm doing this because God put it in my heart. Then you have external motivation, which means I'm doing this because I want to receive an award that my partner is giving me, that my boss is giving me, right? So you want to see how that man is able to be motivated. And then very lastly, it's social skills. This is being able to read the room. Yeah. This is being able to be around your partner's friends, around your family, around the corporate settings, and manage yourself, manage your emotions, manage your reactions in the right, proper way. So the very first thing that a man needs is a high emotional intelligence.
These are the same women that will complain and cry and moan that where have all the good guys gone? Okay, so get another proud post of women where they're saying, oh, I'm using the out of you and I'm enjoying it, right? Another one that guys look out and say, oh, this is why I don't bother with them. This is why I don't want to ask you out. And this kind of goes with the clip before it, because the clip before it is this woman in frustration, right? 25, oh my God, like, where are all the good guys? Like, everyone goes, where are all the good guys? Well, honey, the good guys watched these videos. The good guys watched your TikTok. The good guy said, oh, really? You think you're going to pull one over on me like that? I don't think so. I'm not spending cash on you on date 1 anymore. The good guy said, oh, really? You're going to trash? Okay, never mind. Cancel. Right? They don't want it anymore. What's in it for them? What is in it for them? I say this all the time. How and when is the mass delete going to happen? Because eventually these 20-somethings are going to be 30-something and they're going to be wanting to get picked. And they're going to be like, oh my God, how do I delete? Listen, you're not going to be able to delete it all because people like me take it and clip it into the shows, right? You're not, the internet is that way now. You put something out there and it's just, right? It just is. Even if you do a deletion on your account, it's probably what landed somewhere, right? And not only that, they're not doing one video. It's like a whole theme. This is how they're living their life. Like, oh, I'm using you. Haha. This is their whole theme of how they're living.
Oh, but I was falsely accused and it ruined my life. Prove it. I need you to prove it to me with hardcore, undeniable evidence.
Well, on that note, let's take a look at someone's very own video that actually gives the perfect answer to that more than I could.
Because they don't have to prove to you. You are a nobody. No one gives a about what you believe. You weren't there and your opinion and beliefs are irrelevant. So shut your mouth if you're gonna sit here and discredit victims.
very well put. Because if a person would actually take the time to think about it, someone who would be falsely accused of something could, in fact, be considered to be a victim as well. But it does seem that there are certain individuals out there that only seem inclined to believe victims when it comes to certain circumstances and are not taking into consideration the victims of other circumstances, which is unfortunate because a victim is still a victim. But I guess that some only want to believe victims when it suits their cause.
Every man does this at least once before a woman brutally teaches him to never be this loving and this vulnerable ever again.
You know, funny thing, somebody actually did another video on that, and the guy himself was in the picture, actually commented and said that the woman on him. Now that's crazy, bro. That's wicked work right there.
Your performative masculinity and femininity. These are when people fake being masculine or feminine to impress people and mold how they view them. This could be when a man's acting strong and tough, turning confidence into arrogance. When women act sweet, friendly, smile in your face, pretend to care. They do these when they have something to gain. Potentially sleeping with someone, networking with people, getting money or status. When there is something they want, they go into performative mode. When there's nothing to gain or they don't get what they want, they stop performing. The woman stops being sweet. The man isn't so tough. This is what people call conditional masculinity or conditional femininity. They act masculine or feminine to manipulate other people. True masculinity and femininity do not perform. They are authentic. They are like this from the core, from their souls. That is who they truly are, and they do not do it out of gain. They are simply like that. They are healed, healthy, secure, and live through truth, through growth, through genuine connection, not transaction, not ego, not insecurity, not performance. They are unhealed and unready for authentic connection. If you are only expecting to gain, you are most likely performing. If connection is the goal, authenticity is the wave. Watch my YouTube for more. One-on-one calls in the bio. Drizzle, drizzle.
Pick a woman that wants to have sex with you. Stop begging a woman to have sex with you. Stop. Why do you have to beg a woman? You don't have to beg a woman to have sex with you. When you are a king and you're ready to settle down and you're ready to find your queen and you're ready, pick a woman that wants to have sex with you, that wants to impress you, that wants you in her, that wants you inside her. When a woman wants you inside her, when a woman is yearning for you, when a woman wants you close, when a woman wants to connect with you flesh to flesh, that is the true way, that is the true signal, you know, that she really, really loves you.
One of the biggest red flags when you're dating like an older man is if he's still single at 29, 30 plus, that is a red flag. Like there is something wrong.
He's just like not ready. And it's like, why have you not been ready? Because you're pushing 30 and like,
it's either you're not ready and don't want to settle down or there's something bad going on. Something weird's happening with you.
Yeah.
And that's a red flag to girls trying to date you.
But some people think it's like not a red flag because they're like, oh, like he's mature and he's like ready, which could be true.
No, I'm like, a girl would have swooped you up at this point.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know.
طلب مني شاب كتير عزيز علي اني اعمل فيديو عن الشباب يلي بيستحوا يقربوا يحكوا مع بنت عجبتهم. بيفكروا انه قصة ثقة بالنفس. اذا واحد بيوثق بنفسه بقرب بيحكي مع البنت، اذا ما بيوثق بنفسه مش كتير موضوع خاصه بالثقة بالنفس. موضوع اعمق من هيك وفي له كذا شق. في عندك يلي بيخاف من اللا، انه ما بيتحمل يطلب طلب والتاني يقول له لا، ما بيتحمل يقول له بدي اعزمك على العشاء تقول له لا، ما بيتحمل الريجكشن. وفي عندك يلي هو اصلا مش بس عنده مشكله ما بده يقرب يحكي مع البنات، كمان عنده مشكله اجتماعيه حاده. يعني هو اذا اصحابه عزموه على سهره عباله يقول لا، او وقت يفوت على مجتمع بحس انه الكل او منه قاشعه او الكل منه حابه، وبحس انه هو لازم ينعزل، لازم يصغر يقعد بالزاويه. ما بدي اعجق عليكم كتير، بس بدي اقول لكم بكل بساطه يلي في عنده هذا النوع نوع من المشاكل نحن بنقدر نحلها. يعني يلي كان بيطلع على البنات من بعيد وبيتمنى لو بيقدر يحكي معهم وما بيقدر يرفع التليفون ويتلفن لها، او يلي ما بيقدر يفشخ فشخة ويروح يطلب منها مثلا يسألها سؤال او ياخد رقمها او يتعرف عليها، يلي كان بيمتنع على انه يكون موجود بالمجتمع مثل ما هو بده، نحن في عنا حل له بصفي. كل ما عجبته بنت ما بتاخد معه اكثر من 3 ثواني بيكون حكاها واخذ رقمها وتضحك هو اياها. واجتماعيا بس يفوت على مجموعه بحس الكل عم بيطلع فيه، راغبين انه هو يفوت على هيدا المجموعه، راغبين انه يكون هو بيناتهم، بيطالبوا فيه، بحس حاله هو له مكانه.
Women like to be pursued. Men, I think, like to feel like they're earning a woman.
Women like to be pursued?
Yeah.
I think that a lot of that comes from insecurity. Not you particularly, but I think that women like that idea of being pursued. You're just going to get a sign if you continue pursuing that.
No, I think women, you know, they like consistency and they like knowing that the man wants them.
Of course, to desire a woman and to pursue a woman are two very different things.
What is
right?
pursuing in your words?
Well, for example, in a lot of ways, you go on a date with a girl. Who's supposed to hit up who? Persistency, women typically think is desire. It's not desire. Desire is inviting somebody to be in your life. Now, there's also a certain point where he goes, hey, I'd like to see you tomorrow. And if there's an insecurity that a girl has and she goes, well, that's not enough. I want him to chase me.
Yeah, and I think that's playing games and I don't promote that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was a little bit hesitant about sharing this. Exactly 1 month from now will be my 3-year anniversary of being celibate. And honestly, the main reason why I've been celibate is just that I'm just not where I want to be in life yet. And I know the whole red pill, Andrew Tate, the other guys, I don't know the other guys. But me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other men can relate to this, I still believe in love. I still believe in marriage, family, kids. I still believe in all of that. And so with me, but still believing in all of that, I personally want to be able to give my wife and my kids everything. Like personally, I don't want my wife to work. I don't want my kids to have to worry about anything. And at this moment, I can't do that. And that's why right now I've just been working on myself to one day get to the point where I can take care of my wife, my family. We go on vacations. We can do all the whole 9, the white picket fence, the little poodle, whatever dog she wants, you know.
And I'm going to silently observe what this trip looks like on her social media.
You know what? Exactly.
How she's carrying herself. And then men do that. We take mental notes. People are like, oh, she's out there on a boat, half naked, twerking in front of guys. Not wifey when she comes back. Now I know where to place her.
Wait, on a boat, half naked? What do you want her to wear on a boat?
Twerking also was added in there on a guy.
So there was guys
Twerking on a guy is crazy though. On a guy is
like, if
it was a girl's trip.
If you're getting to know me, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I thought it was a girl's trip.
But guys can be there.
They do be having
Like
excursions.
if you go on a girls trip to Jamaica, you're with your girls, but men live in Jamaica.
Men do live in Jamaica.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
I get
doing something like that.
You could judge her if she did that raft thing and she had the Jamaican man doing the exfoliating
and rubbing
I'm judging it all.
But
I ain't never get that up on
usually if men were not invited on the trip, that boat day is just girls. I'm just saying. And if she's half naked, so what? Who the goes to Jamaica to put on clothes?
But it's not just doing it. It's also
and we twerking for the videos. It's a girls
also look
trip.
at what you post. Men look at what you post. We don't want our wifey having certain things posted on her social media. Remember the saying that's going viral? A wife is a wife before she's a wife. That's what that means.
You know how I feel about Justin Bieber. I don't care. He's literally the first love of my life.
I'm telling you, if you're dating someone and they're talking about celebrities like that and like celebrity crushes, wrap it up immediately. And it's funny because we all know it's disrespectful, right? And it's like if the guy were to go around liking all of Ice Spice's IG posts, like we definitely hear problems about that, right? I remember one time I was dating this girl and I called Charlie XCX like queen and she was not having it. Like, I don't know what it is like with this narrative where it's like some people try to make it like, oh, like it's not a big deal. And like, nah, bro, it'd be a big deal. And the thing is, not only is it disrespectful, but the person who's doing it knows it's like when they're actually doing it. Like, I call Charlie X queen because I'm low-key and like that's just what we do. I remember one time I was talking to this girl and like she was like getting giggly like with like the thought of a male celeb. I was like, oh no. I was like, I will leave like literally right now. Straightened up immediately, started crying. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. And like a couple weeks later, she did it again with like a different male celebrity. And I was like, yo, like I will end things. I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like this is not a joke. And I'm like, I don't know who you're used to dealing with, But nah. And then it never happened again, right? But then in hindsight, I was like, bro, they definitely know it's disrespectful because this person was so, like, if I ever said anything that was like relatively like positive, like about a woman, like she was tweaking out about it. So it's like, bro, like it's one of those things where it's like they know and they're really just trying you, genuinely. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like even if you have to correct it once, I think that's fine reason to get out of it. Like do not let them play in your face, bro. Because people, and I'm sure men probably do too, like people know what they're doing when they do stuff like that, bro.
I cannot believe the amount of male commentators on my last video not knowing what courting is. I've had men courted me through and through, and they've had their mothers or sisters taught them very, very well on how to court a woman. And because I dropped the last person I was talking to because he didn't court me or like even talk to me like properly, I'm going to explain to the masses that courting is just basically asking her out on a date. She says yes. If you're still interested in her, then you ask her out on a date again. And if she's still interested in you, she would say yes. And you keep on repeating that process until you guys both spend time together. So both you guys realize you guys like each other and start doing things with each other as a team. And then you officially ask her out. That's just my experience on dating. And no male has ever asked me to plan dates. None of my girlfriends that has a long-term partner have had a male ask her to plan dates while you guys are like getting to know each other. Like, I didn't know I was supposed to take you out. I didn't know I was gonna plan a car ride for you. I didn't know I was gonna plan out like a day we hang out together and guide you to all these places. Like, what?
We don't, but this is not the way.
Sophie, if the number of women doing tripled in Florida tomorrow, would that be a good or a bad thing?
I think honestly, it would be a great thing. A lot of women are trying to find different ways to make more income in a, heavily damaged economy. So I think that there should be those opportunities out there for these women to make an income.
When you say that tripling the number of creators is a good thing, that speaks to the damage of the economy.
Women still should be able to make that decision for themselves. At the end of the day, they shouldn't have to worry about
I'm raising a tax to disincentivize and deter it. I'm not banning it.
What does this say about America in our current economy, Carmen, if we're at a place where women feel like they have to themselves on the internet in order to survive, to make a living for themselves?
Sorry, guys, I'm siding with the on this one. I'm siding with the I don't think that taxes is the solution. Why don't we just solve the problem instead of taxing people? If you want to go hard on the issue instead of trying to say, well, we're just going to tax the American people more. Why are we not going after the people who are doing, why are we not taxing the only thing in sight?
I hear what you guys are saying, but at the same time, we have to realize, like, she makes more money than LeBron James. That's like the whole point. That's why it's called the sin tax, because if you want to sell your body online, you want to be online, like, we're going to make that as hard as possible. Now these girls are going to start changing their minds.
I feel like that is not going to deter women. Like, these are going to themselves, whether it's on the internet or whether it's in real life.
Essentially what the government has said is, we'll be your pimp, okay? You got to give me half, but you can do it. We're going to pimp you out. Okay, that's what they're doing.
I think what's funny is that a lot of these modern women, a lot of them, they want to live a certain lifestyle. They want to live a certain way. They start going to farmers markets, start dressing a certain type of way. Do your thing. You know, you want to change, you want to do something different. You know, I'm working on making sourdough bread. That whole thing, you know, you're captioning everything. I'm in my divine healing journey. I'm in my divine feminine energy. I'm this, I'm that. You know, I'm cooking and cleaning and all that stuff. And get ready with me while I clean, and watch me while I clean, watch me while I cook and all that stuff. But then don't cook for that man. Don't cook for him. All of a sudden, I'm not cooking for a man. Come with us as we go to Target and we do grocery shopping. I got a good man. He bought all the groceries. Did you cook for him? Nope. Nope. She make him a snack? Nope. She say thank you? Nope. Because then I wouldn't be in my divine feminine. Because then, you know, he would think that he's not supposed to do those things. He's supposed to get a thank you for doing those types of things. A man is here to protect and provide and support me. Right. I think what I'm getting at is you guys do a lot of stuff. You say you want to be in the divine feminine era, a soft girl era, a passenger princess era. Like I said, just, well, you know, a soft girl era, the trend is to cook sourdough bread and go here and do all of that stuff. But you do none of that stuff for your man. And at some point in time, a man is going to get tired, once again, of the stuff that he's doing, the energy that he's putting out, not being reciprocated.